on is the role of the shop steward. How to become being a better shop steward and a magnet for negativity. How many of you agree with that? Okay. A good shop steward, as I say, wears many hats and has varied roles. Political activists, as Alan spoke on. First, get to know, the political, what's going on, so you can educate. Just letting the steward, the grievant, know that if they file a grievance, let them know that, hey, your grievance was settled or what have you, and then, you have to be somewhat of a satellite as far as on the workroom floor. Just listen to what's going on the workroom floor so that you can also take the information back to the union meeting, just to let others know, what's going on, as far as knowing what's going on the workroom floor. Next, you have to, as Alan also said, be an educator. Just educate them on what's going on, with the union. And as always, a good shop steward, you have to listen and listen to the response and respectfully defend the union officers when they are right, but do not add to discontent or bad-mouthing when they are mistaken. And what I mean by that is if you hear some workers on the workroom floor and always, be an organizer, union organizer. You must be professional at all times. You must put the needs of the employee first and foremost. And last but not least, we spoke upon, recruiting the non-union members. And the Form 1187 is, is to be used to,
Yeah, I'm Tony Krause from the Fayetteville local. Some of the information that we learned over the week, it's kind of a blur, but part of the makeup of the grievance that I learned that I tell them what you told her. Well, in the body, and they were talking about compartmentalization. Eat away at every argument, defeat it with all sorts of evidence, exhibits. Include in your packet copies of all that evidence, whether it's come from your RFI or for the contract, so that it's all there in the body. It's reference it in the body, whether you take out portions of the sentence or reference it, the Article 38. Have it all there in the body of that step one, so that when they go to look at it, they know where you're getting your information from, and it makes it harder for them to contradict it or to say, oh, it's not true. Right here, look for it. It was very, very instrumental and very educational. I really, before now, I didn't realize what all went involved in doing the step ones. It's all the learning from even working with some of the my brothers and sisters that it charged me up where I want to do this now. One thing they made the comment was be a steward. It's got to be in your blood. If it's not in your blood, you may not be a steward a year or two later. That's basically what I wanted to bring up. I want to turn it over to Manny.
I'm Manny Navarro from the Blythe local. They said. When I first started as a steward about 5 years ago, Johnny, he was trying to help me out. He would tell me, man, you got to do this. Man, you got to do that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, Johnny, I wasn't really getting it. And I would write up grievances, and he'd get them, and then he'd kind of try to coach me through it. Well, you got to put this in. I thought he was just being nagging, God, Johnny, it's always nagging. He said, so then he made me a step 2, and then when I got to the step 2s, I started seeing why I needed to construct these grievances better. You know, because I mean, when I would get to the step 2 discussion, I'd be like, oh man, he's really kicking my ass. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, so I said I need to go to this college, and I went there, and it was amazing because they broke it down piece by piece by piece. You know, they went from going from the beginning of taking the problem or the violation and taking that and making 3 or 4 or 5, 6 arguments out of just that one violation. You know, the more you put in there, the better, because they can't come back later and say, well, that wasn't there. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. They can argue something else because you can cut off their avenues of argument. And I think this college is great for everyone. Everyone should go. Honestly, I wish everyone in this room could go, because it really breaks down the process. I mean, to the T, to the last period. I mean, it shows you what you're supposed to do, what your job is, what your role is as a steward, to make sure you make a great grievance, so that way when these guys get it, if they happen to get it past step 2 and it goes to 3 and they get it and they look at it, they're like, great, you know, it's less they got to do because they got a lot on their table, you know, already. You know, if we can help them out more, I mean, honestly, that's what we're supposed to do. You know, as stewards is make sure that we do our part, because they have you know, 500-600 grievances they got to talk about, and if they're trying to sit there and piece together what little bit of, you know, paperwork that we sent them, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do their job.
Amen.
So we do our job, and that's what the college taught us, is just do your job, do it right, and do it on the clock. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they pay us to do it on the clock. You know, they want to violate, that's their fault. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have to contribute to it.
Sound better than
All
law
right,
school.